All right, let's talk about user-defined functions. Focus up because this is a very important lesson. So, functions are basically just blocks of code that are reusable. Up until now, you've been using the main function to write your programs, but now we're going to create our own function and we're going to be able to use that inside of the main function. That was a bit wordy, but it'll start to make sense once I start typing. So, instead of working in the main function, let's create our own function. And this is how you do it. So the syntax is void for now, and then we'll just name our function whatever we want our function to do, a very specific name. It's up to you. In this case, I'll just make a simple hello world function. So a very good name would be hello. This is followed then by parentheses and curly brackets. Very, very similar. In fact, identical to the main function. The only difference is this is an integer function, this is a void function. And you'll know what that means soon enough. But for now, let's just focus on here. Let's focus on our own function that we just created. So, what do we want this function to do? Well, we wanted to print out hello world. So, we'll just do cout hello world. And yeah, that's basically the gist of it. We created a function. So, how do we use it? So, right now in our main function, nothing is happening. But if we want to print out hello world, we have to call our function here that we just created. So, in order to do that, you just type in the name of the function followed by a set of parentheses and finish it off with a semicolon. Now, when we run this code, it should print out hello world. There we go. Now, why is this important? Well, let's say this was a block of code that was super huge and we had to use it a bunch of times. We can, instead of just rewriting all this, we would just copy and paste the call. And now we can say hello world a bunch of times without having to retype it. Hello world, hello world, hello world, hello world. What you're gonna see a lot is people declaring their function on the top of their program and then defining it at the bottom. So this is how you do that. And you might want to get used to doing this because you're gonna see it a lot in the textbooks and a lot of official like programs. So you basically you define your function down here, and then at the top, instead of writing all of that, you just declare it by writing void with the name of the function followed by semicolon. And now this will basically do the same thing. We'll run this code. Hello world. The reason why doing it from top to bottom matters, why you have to declare the void function here, is because let's say we didn't have this. So I'll comment this out. Let's say we have our function at the bottom. What is going to happen is our program is going to read from top to bottom. It's going to say, okay, include IOStream. Okay, they're using namespace standard. All right, let's go to the main function. What are we going to do? Hello. What is that? I don't know what that is. I haven't read anything prior to this. So yeah, if you're going to define your function down here, it's good to declare it at the top. Otherwise, it won't run because the program doesn't know what the hello function is unless you either declare it or define it before the main function. All right, now watch this. What if we wanted to say, instead of hello world, we wanted to say hello someone's name? So let's just edit this a little bit. And then we'll go into our main function and declare a string name. And we'll set that equal to, this time we'll just do, actually, we'll have the user input the name. So we'll do string name and then prompt the user, enter your name, console input, name. So we're gonna have the user input their name, and then we want to say hello followed by their name. So let's go back to our hello function. We'll just do hello name. And let's see if this works. Well, it didn't work. That's because the name was not declared in this scope. Think of each function as like a private space. Our hello function doesn't exactly know what string name is. And inversely, if we create an int age variable, then the main function wouldn't know what the int age variable is. So we have to have a set of parameters within this function in order to use the string name variable. So we want our hello function to include the name that we declared in our main function. So whenever we call the hello function, we have to say, hey, use the name function that was declared inside of this scope whenever you're calling this function. And then we have to set the arguments inside our function declaration. So we're passing through a string, so we're going to have to use the string data type. So to do that, we just do string followed by the name of the variable, name. So now it's telling our code, hey, expect a string name. And in the main function, it's saying, hey, when you call the function, make sure you use that string name. Also, make sure that you set the parameters at the top of your function definition as well. This isn't necessary if you did this up here, but because we did it the traditional way, we have to set our arguments up here and down here. So when we run this code, it should be fine. Enter your name, Cam. Hello, Cam. So we see how that works. You're also allowed within the hello function to rename the parameters. So let's say we don't want to use name because we're going to get confused. Let's change this to string person. We'd also have to change it inside of our function as well so that it knows. And if we run this, it'll do the same thing. Enter your name. Let's say my name Brian. Hello, Brian. So yeah, we can change the name within the argument to whatever we want and things will still be the same, just as long as you change it within the function as well. But let's change this back to not confuse anybody. Now we can also pass in more than one argument. So let's say we prompt the user to enter their age and we want to say, hello, Cam, your age is 21. So we'll do cout, enter your age, cn, age, and let's define our int age variable. Okay. So we know that right now age isn't declared inside of the hello scope. So we have to pass in the age as another argument. So in order to do that, right next to name, we'll just separate it by a comma and then put age. So now it's telling call the hello function and use the name variable as well as the age variable. Now, whenever we have another argument, we need a matching set of parameters. So now we have to tell the void hello function, hey, expect the integer variable named age. And we also have to set the parameter up here as well. So now the hello function expects a string and an integer, and it can use it in whatever the code it has. So instead of saying hello Cam, we'll say hello Cam, you are age years old. And this should work flawlessly. Enter your name, Cam. Enter your age, I'm 40. Hello, Cam, you are 40 years old. Missing some spacing here, but you get the point. And honestly, this part's not necessary. You can click off the video here because that's basically it. But if we want to be really efficient, we can stick all of this stuff inside of a hello function and then pretty much have this whole program one user-defined function. So I'm going to skip ahead. And basically all I'm doing is copy and pasting all of this stuff and sticking it in here so that it all functions together. You'll see what I mean. All right, so not much has changed here. All I did was modify the hello function so that everything that was in the main function is now in the hello function. So now, because everything is in here, we don't need any more arguments or parameters. We can just call the function because the string name, the int age, that's all local to the hello now. It knows what it is. So whenever we call the main function, we're going to call hello, and then it's going to perform all of this stuff. And I'm going to show you why I did this. So this runs perfectly. And you Cam, I'm 52 this time. Hello Cam, you're 53 years old. So the reason why I want to show you guys this is because let's say we wanted to create multiple profiles, right? Let's say we want to say hello to a bunch of people. Instead of having the right string name, int age, and doing this over and over and over again, we can just call the hello function multiple times. So let's say we want to say hello to 3 people. We'll run this. Enter your name. Okay, this is the first person. We'll say Giovanni. Age 21. Hello, Giovanni. You are 20 years old. Second person. Enter your name. Brian. Enter your age. 22. Hello, Brian. You are 22 years old. Okay. Third person. Jaquan. Enter your age. 20. Hello, Jaquan. You are 20 years old. So you see how that's a lot cleaner than if we were to just copy, paste, and all this. And not only that, but we would have a bunch of like variable conflictions with how like the age is getting passed around. It's just not efficient at all. It's way better to just have a function whenever you want to reuse some code. So yeah, those are functions.